This is the only sport. This is what kills me. This is the only sport where a guy can hang around the gym for 6 months, learn how to do the mitts, and become a trainer. Because why? He's going to train the fighter for less than anybody else. And he might be a good fighter. And they may, oh, wow, man, this guy's a hell of a trainer. Okay, let's see what happens now when it gets thick in there. When the fighter gets in a situation, and excuse my language, but the shit gets thick, and you're like, wow, hey, coach, what do I do? And he just look at you like, I don't know. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's so much, man, that boxing is missing today. I mean, to me, there's not that many great trainers and teachers left in the game, man. It's not, because everyone's so focused on doing the mitts. And I think that you gotta understand, when you're in that ring with the fighter, you taking his life in your hands, man. You know what I mean? You take his life in your hands. You know, when I had this, God bless his soul, with Max Dadashev, hey, man, you know, that's the hardest thing in the world you got to deal with as a trainer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, you did the right thing. I mean, it's just unfortunate circumstance, but you know, you did the right thing, and you know, look, those are things that could have been pre-existing, that could have just was going to happen, and you know, you also recognized when enough was enough, and it's just one of those unfortunate scenarios, but by no means, you know, was that anything that you could have done about that?
Nah. So you know, I mean, you know, I just think that, you know, boxing, you know, I mean, I love boxing. I mean, boxing is my life, man. You know, I just sometimes sit back and watch and listen how some of these people talk about, you know, this fighter, that trainer, this, that. And then you ask that, listen, I'm going to say this. In football, every announcer has played football at one time or another. In basketball, every announcer has either played basketball. Same with any other sport. Boxing, how many announcers today has had a fight? Thank you. But they say this guy's an expert. How the hell is he an expert? By just watching, that makes him an expert? Has he been in the ring? Has he been in the trenches? No. Now, you can get a football player that has been there. He can understand. He can relate. But you get some of these announcers, you know what I mean, that's never had a fight in their life.
So, buddy,
commentating boxing, it's like,
well, as an argument to that, I agree with you. Okay, there's something about practical experience, right? Bill Belichick was never a star player in football, but he did play football, right? But he ended up becoming this great coach. Phil Jackson was a good basketball player, right? Ended up becoming an unbelievable coach. Not everyone that played at
Bill Fitch is a Hall of Fame NBA coach, and he never played hardly at all.
The difference is that boxing is unforgiving. These other sports, you play, you lose a couple of games, you play a whole season, you win some game. Boxing, it's very unforgiving. And so, you know, there's more of a spotlight on, and it's less regulated. You tell me, buddy, how hard is it to get licensed? You know, really, how hard is it to get licensed to work a corner? We all see this. I see you see me at fights. Guys coming in, filling out paperwork, they get approved, they pay their $50 or their $100 and they're licensed. What do they have to do to deserve a license?
Sign their name on the dotted line and give the $100.
Work the mitts.
You didn't have to work the mitts.
Listen, man, this is no lie, man. This guy asked me to help in the corner with a fighter. I said, okay. So we're in the dress room, you know, and I'm letting the guy do his thing with the fighter. I went outside to see how the fight before us was going. When I came back, there was a dude that I know I saw in the audience in the dress room doing the mitts with the fighter. I'm like, I'm like, they gotta be kidding me, man. And this guy's holding the mitts like my granddaughter who's 3 can hold the mitts better than this guy.
Yeah.
So they said, buddy, I said, man, I'm not going out there, man. You're not gonna embarrass me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, buddy, how do you really feel about the mitts?
If you use it, I believe if you use them to teach a guy, but looking fancy don't win fights.